Good day, everyone. Well, it is the year 2021, but I picked up my XT250. This is the 2020 version, but due to all the stuff that we can't talk about that's been going on, it's been at the dealership for 3-4 months or something. And but hey, I finally got it home. And one of the things I wanted to do right away, I was out doing a little bit of trail riding, but I did buy a skid plate. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in this thing. It seems to be about medium quality. It wasn't super expensive. I can't remember the exact price. Yeah, it seems like mid-grade. I think it's going to be fine. Again, I had to get this off of the Amazons because they were back ordered at the dealership, like for the a heavier duty one, or I forget what company made them, but yeah, on back order for like 6 months. So I found this one on the internet. It'll work. Now, I've already checked to see if it lines up underneath, and it looks like it's going to fit very, very well, like nice, like a glove. However, I would want to go through something with you here. All it comes with four of these little bolts. It comes with this one washer. Now, first off, they're way too long. You're going to have to cut them off. However you do it with a hacksaw or whatever you're going to do. But I don't have video of that. My neighbor helped me do this. But anyone could do it. But he had a really good suggestion. If you are going to cut these off, which you're going to have to if it's for this bike, otherwise you'd be screwing this into the bottom of your crankcase. But so his suggestion was, before you cut it off, you get a nut that screws on properly, which this one should. So you screw the nut on, right? So put it down wherever. Cut off your bolt. If you don't have a grinder or whatever, maybe use a little bit of sandpaper and try to smoothen out the edges around here. But since you have the nut on there, so if there's any burrs or it's not perfect, you take the nut, and when you screw it off, it should clean up the threads for you. So this is really what the video is about. Putting the plate on is super easy. So that's the first thing. So it only comes with these little washers, like I was saying, and those are not adequate. Like, oddly, the holes in here, like if you use this washer they give you, it doesn't even, like, it barely covers the hole the washer does. So what I'm gonna do, and I think this is a good idea, I suggest you do it too. Let me get this lined up. So here's the hole. So first of all, I have these two rubber, they're kind of like, I guess you call them kind of like washers. But on the back side where it goes onto the bike, I'm going to put one there. It'll stay in place once I have the bolt in there. And then on the other side, if you can see that, I'm also going to use, so I'm going to put on a larger washer, or actually we'll put the small one on first, like that, and then I'll put the larger one on, and I'll put on my rubber washer. It's just going to help with vibration. It'll keep everything quiet. So we're going to have one. So in the end, so I have my small washer, my bigger washer, rubber washer. Put that into place. And then on this side, right, then I'll put on another rubber washer, and we'll bolt that up. So, oh, and then finally, buy this blue 242 Loctite stuff. I'm going to put a little dab on the threads there, and then screw it in, and that's going to make sure that it won't vibrate out, because on any of these motorcycles, whatever, there's vibration, and sure enough, these things will probably fall out if you don't put any thread locker on it. So I suggest using the blue stuff because you can remove it after, like if you need to pull out the bolt. It's not like a permanent thing. It's just going to be enough to stop it from unthreading itself. So I'm going to put this on, and so this is I guess this is the before. Get in here. That's the before, and I'll get this hooked up and show you what it looks like. Oh, I have one more tip for you guys. You're wondering, well, how are you gonna get the bolts in, the washers there, and make sure it all stays in place? I'm just gonna use a little bit of tape. So, again, I have my little washer, big washer, rubber washer, and so we'll put this in the back here. So that's there. Voila. And we're just going to take a little piece of tape and I'm just going to put it across here. So that's going to hold that in place, and plus, you know, now that the bolt is through, you can just put the rubber washer on there. So I'm going to do that for all four before I even put it up into place, and yeah, away you go. So it will stay in place. It's all good. Just a tip. Okay, and just so you know, when I was putting these in, I was making sure that the threads were going to go in nice and easily. So that's why it took me a little while. Like I was just backing it out, turning it in until it grabbed properly. You might have the same issue, especially if you had to cut off your bolts. And then once you get them snugged up, make sure you go back underneath, look from the top, and make sure they're not touching the engine at all. Because as I said, the original ones, they're way too long and they'll go right into your motor. I think we have these ones cut perfectly. I can feel with my finger behind here on the one side that it's just starting to come out of this the casing and the mount, so it's not going to hit the engine. Same with this side. This side, if this side's good, how it feels, I know this side's going to be good too, because they're both exactly the same length. And the front ones are not as much of an issue. There's way more room in the front here, so you're not going to have to worry about the front ones, but you can visually see it too if you just look behind. And I'm just going to snug these down. And they don't have to be super tight, but you know, make sure they're snug. Remember, we have the two rubber washers in there, so that should help keep things in place, I hope. But yeah, I'll go for a ride and then I'll come back and I'll check them out, make sure they're still in there good. I'm just making sure they feel right. These guys, they seem good. So I'll take this tape off here, and we should be good to go. One thing I noticed when I was down here, I did buy this bike new, and I think it had never been run when I got it. The oil was good, the oil level, but since it was never run before, I don't think they compensated for the fact that once it goes, it has to push the oil up into the oil filter and that. So it actually looks like the oil's low. I'll have to pick up some oil and top that off. So I would really, I should have checked earlier, but I just made the assumption that everything was good from the dealership. I mean, it's not really their fault. I'm not criticizing them, but I should have checked it earlier. It's low, but I mean, it's not empty. And I have been driving it easy, but definitely check your oil after you get it home. Probably gonna have to top it off if it's never been run before. So there you have it, folks. Got the plate on, looking good. And that's where you check the oil, but the bike needs to be level. I'm gonna try to level it. See how it looks. I'll have to look at it on camera. I can't do both at the same time. So there. I think it's gonna need some oil, but I'll double check once I put this thing down. I'll look on my video here. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great day. Like, thumbs up, subscribe.